Welcome to the show presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. What's on my agenda? What is on my agenda? NCAA. NCAA. It is you. You know it's you. It's always been you. I don't have to say a thing, but guess what? I will. I'll remind you of the history. I'll remind you of the things that I said in the past because they still hold true today. Nothing has changed but the times. Nothing has changed but the time. And time is something that you can't get back, and you can't fool me. You cannot fool me. You may have fooled others. You may have fooled other people in the past on the whole concept of student athlete. Sure, combining two words together makes a lot of sense. But when you separate the two words by the definition, by the purest definition, by the purest meaning, does it make absolute sense? Does it make sense, period? Hey, I know walking and talking and chewing gum at the same time is difficult for most. It's difficult for me sometimes. I'll admit, because running, jumping through hoops that are flaming and trying to land on your toes while saying everything's okay in a matter of seconds, tenths of a second. Yeah, that's what I'm required to do at most times. But the student athlete, if it's all about the student athlete, and if it's student athlete this, and it's a student athlete that, what is the money? Where does the money making part fits in? Where does the money making part fits in? It's a business. It is a business. That's was what we've been told about other organizations. It is a business in NCAA. It is no different than you. Coaches' pay go up exponentially. Look how much they get paid now compared to when I first started saying that they are getting free label. The players are indentured servants. Remember that? Remember that conversation? Remember that historical documents? You can go back and check the records. You can go back and check the records. It was definitely something that was unpopular at the time of me saying it. Sure, today I would have probably got canceled if canceled existed back then. But now it's the cool thing to say. It is the cool thing to get behind. But when you look into the details of the matter, who are representing these players? Who are representing these players? And are they truly getting their just due? Are they truly getting paid for their likeness? Are they truly getting paid for the labor that they are putting in? Because how can everyone else around them make so much money in the business when the workers don't? Oh, wait, they get the free college education. That's the turnoff. So they get 100K, 200K, 300K, 400K payout that we call college or university, while comparing that to everyone else, millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. Yeah, I can see how that's equal. I can see how that's equal. A couple 100K compared to millions in a $1 billion industry. Yeah, okay, I got it. It's a business. It is a business model that fits you. And why am I still stuck on this whole business model concept? Because recently you showed your cards. Recently you showed your hand once again. The college football playoff system that makes eons and eons of money, that draw so many advertising dollars and everything else, you are adding more teams to the fray. You're adding more teams to the concept. Hey, in theory, I would not have a problem with this. In theory, I would not have a problem with this because in theory, I would want to see a true champion. I would want to see a winner that wins because they deserve to win. You know, getting the conference champions to play other conference champions and go from there in a tournament like structure where winner takes all, winner takes the spoils, winner take everything. In theory, I can appreciate that. In theory, it is something I want to see. In theory, it's all to the good. It's all good. But that's in theory. In real life, remember, let's go back to the beginning. Student athlete. In real life, the student athlete who's not getting paid, but maybe a free college tuition, room and board and what have you, but and everything else, who knows? Who knows? But I'm not going to get into that because I do not want to get sidetracked in the argument. You know, we know, everyone knows, and I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll just leave it at that for now and put it off to the side for another occasion, for another day. It will come up. It's just that I don't want to spend as much time on you. I don't want to spend as much time on you because in my world, you're not important. In my world, you are not important. You're just something that's there. You're just something that's there when I'm bored, when I'm tired of watching grass grow. I'm like, hey, what else is on? What else is there to do? Oh, yeah, I can watch a terrible. Wait, okay. See, I'm not falling for that. I am not falling for that. The student athlete, in theory, I'll be okay with adding more colleges to the playoff system, but you told me student athlete. Well, a student athlete is an amateur. So why are we risking these amateurs' health to play more games, to make more money, make more millions, make more billions for the ones who can, benefit off of it while they just get their silly little tuition paid, their free college, free university and everything else? We're risking their lifelong health because CTE is real. Ask the NFL. Ask the NFL. We're risking their long-term health to make more money for others who aren't putting in the same position. And these gatekeepers usually have say-so and total absolute control over every and anything. Help make that sense. Help make that sense. And yes, I'm saying it right. Help me, because it don't. We're adding more games, more teams, more games to a structure that already is flawed because of the student athlete concept. And they are making, or they're working for free, basically, and help make money for the gatekeepers, for the overlords, for the ones on top who have total control. Who speaks for them? Who speaks for these student athletes? And I'm not going to do the digits anymore. I'm not going to do the digits anymore because we all know the true meaning of student athlete. We all know the true meaning of student athlete. So I don't have to go down that road. I don't have to go down that road. I don't have to go down that path. And I won't do it again. We all know the true meaning of student athlete. So we're going to add more games, possibly, to determine a true champion, which in theory is okay if it was a system where these players got paid sufficiently for their services, and they was something that they signed up and were willing to do. Like the NFL, I'm okay with that. They understand the risk. They know the risk involved. The NFL is finally giving them the information and the data that they've had. They're sharing because sharing is caring. I'm okay with that. I'm no longer going after the NFL for that anymore because they saw the light. They saw the light. The light is everywhere. But these student athletes, they don't have a say. They don't have a say. They have to follow orders. They have to follow the leader of the, what we calling this now? Syndicate family. They have to follow the leader. They have to do what they told. And if, for whatever reason, there's a disagreement or something happens, their career can end like that. But wait. Oh, wait, no, you open up finally a transfer portal, because I mean, it wasn't like college coaches or university coaches could be there 1 year and leave the next year at the drop of a hat and didn't have to sit out and didn't have to be punished for any way, just long as their contract was bought out, able to move freely. While in the past, the student athlete had to waste a year or waste time just because things didn't work out at one place and they got punished for next. So you got that part right finally. But what about everything else? That's just a little snippet. That is like crumbs. That is like giving crumbs to someone who hasn't eaten in a long time. Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes amazing. This is the best gourmet food I've ever had, but it's still crumbs. It's still crumbs. Doing this college football tournament, adding more teams in this current structure of the student athlete, putting them at risk even more, putting their young minds, their young bodies, their young brains, muscles, everything in more danger to make more money, to benefit off of that. Yeah, okay. Of course you'd be all good for that. Of course this would be something right up your alley. Of course this would be something that you wouldn't think 2 or 3 times about it, because it's bringing in the dollars, the monies. And if this was a true business, and if this was the way the business was run or ran, it's okay. I understand some businesses are ran good, some businesses are ran bad, some ran poorly, some are mediocre, and everything in between. But the fact that this amateurism, this non-professionalism is still being pushed out as it is what it is, that is an insult on everyone intelligence that understand a business, understand corporations, understand that you have workers and the workers work, and there's a level above the workers who benefit off of the workers, but the workers in turn get a fair or decent or even poor, returns. But you're not even calling them workers. You're not even recognizing that they're workers. You're not even recognizing that this is what it is. You're saying that it's amateurism. It's non-professional. Yeah, okay. Make that sense. Make that sense. I can ask it again, but I don't think I'm gonna get an answer. I don't think I'm gonna get an answer anytime soon, because seriously, how is that making sense? How is that any sense available? It's nonsensical. It is nonsensical on its face. But you get to bring in more money. And I already knew this was the case, because think about the bowl games. Think about the bowl games. Sure, there's an argument out there that these bowl games give players an opportunity to have an experience that they probably wouldn't experience anyway. Yeah, that's a participation trophy. Yeah, that is a participation trophy. But when you look at the grand scheme, when you look at the mechanisms behind it, more and more bowl games, which I'm glad it stopped, because you got found out. You got found out. But the more and more bowl games was a money grab. It was a thing to let the networks and the advertisers advertise and put on a product that peeps and people were going to watch, because it was that time of year where there was nothing else going on, and watching grass grow when grass can't grow everywhere in that time of year was a non-starter. And so you filled in the void. You filled in the void. I get it. I truly, truly get it. I don't agree. I'm not here to say anything that I haven't said already, or that I haven't stood up for already, or that I haven't pointed out 10, 15 years ago. This is just me bringing it back up because it's still egregious. It is still egregious, but now it's like, okay, everyone know what it is. We just don't care. Everyone know what it is. We just don't care. And you have a few who actually believe in what you're saying. A few actually believe in what you're saying. But when you look at the record, when you look at the facts and see, does it really, 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 really make sense? And that's a serious, serious question. And I'm not asking for a friend. I'm asking a question I already know the answer to. I'm just going to see if you tell the truth about it. And I just said the quiet part out loud. You're welcome. You're welcome. But seriously, players getting punished or got punished because they borrowed money from someone just to eat? Yeah. Okay. While others make millions and the structure itself bring in billions. And during a pandemic and during a time of crises, those players played. During a pandemic and a time of crises, those players played because they wanted to. Yeah. And because the system was going to fall on its face and fall on its head if they did not have the workers, the frontline workers out there performing and out there doing what it do to bring in the moolah, to bring in the francs, to bring in the dough. But that's a student athlete. That's a student athlete. Okay. I mean, what am I to say to that other than possibly you come up with a different word combination, a word choice? There are a few adjectives out there, and if you can't think of any adjectives that are good or great for the situation or for the workers, you can possibly throw in another noun or create a word. Yeah, how about that? How about creating a word that means something that you and only you understand, while the rest of us, by not knowing the word and not knowing the true meaning of the word, you leave it to our imagination and you just let us come up with whatever it is, and everybody will have their own definition of the word. How about that? That seemed like that would probably help you out in the whole scheme of the whole scheme. Or you can just continue on your war path, continue pushing your agenda, continue saying Non-professionalism, non-pros, student athlete, amateur. We respect that. They play for the school. They play for the love. Yeah, okay. Some play for the school, some play for the love, but then you also have the ones that are playing to become professionals, or the reason they're there, the training and what have you, is to become a professional. But I say, aren't they already semi-professional, if not professional? Just because you're not paying them what they deserve or what they earn, that doesn't mean they're not pros. I never knew or known amateurs to make that much money for a company. I never knew or known amateurs to make that much money for a company. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll say that I'm wrong right here and right now. I'll take a few seconds and let it pause right now. Give it time to breathe. Go ahead. Breathe. Breathe on the matter. Because the thing is, they're pros. They're pros. And I'm glad that some organizations, NBA, are calling out the NCAA for what they are. And they've created a semi-pro or pro league that give certain players an option to bypass the not being paid part, to bypass the whole college experience, if their main goal is to make that money for themselves. Make the money for themselves, and of course making it for the company, because that's how workers work. That's how the system works. That's how the concept works. They work and get money, and also they get money for the company, they get money for the organization, but they get paid as well. It's a give and take. It is a give and take, and it is a win-win-win-win-win-lose situation. But in this concept, and in this structure, it's yeah, okay. Pat on the back. Good to go. You playing for the love of the game. Yeah. But who isn't playing a sport for the love of the game? The amount of work that you put in, the amount of time that you put in. Time is something that you cannot get back. So how is somebody not doing it for the love anyway, with the amount of time that they're putting in? So just throwing that argument out there that they're doing it for the love of the game. They're doing it for the love of the game just by playing the sport. Because if you didn't love the sport, that much, you would not put that much time in it. You would not waste time on something that you didn't care for or that you didn't love. Who hates doing something? Who hate the hate? It's sure, it's there, it's a concept, but there's a joy in hating the hate. And those people that hate the hate, that is their joy, that is their peace, that is their comfort. While the most of us look at it like, no thank you. No thank you. But I think I wasted enough time. On this whole concept. I'm just baffled that people would actually believe that adding more teams to the college football playoff system is all about determining a true champion. Yeah. And how can I say this? Yeah, in the theory of the matter, it makes sense. But when you look at the entire picture, and when you add in the facts, and you look back at the history, it ain't nothing but a money grab. It ain't nothing but a money grab. Hey, do what you do.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.